crowd is actually getting unruly. Let's move a little here to the side. And our viewers actually have been looking into whatever is been happening in the last few minutes or so. The situation has turned dramatic. And I don't understand how will the cops now, who themselves got surrounded by this unruly crowd, the mob here, will be able to evacuate people like these? And will the victim continue to be safe in a situation like this? And again, if we can actually zoom in, the ADG again gets back into their entire mob, because the idea is to ensure law and order. And is this how law and order is going to be ensured here? When in a little motley village, you have, I think, 250 plus cars here, SUVs, not even small cars. Now, these are all SUVs. So you understand that this entire, story actually is looking at a number of proportions. Because this is a sorry tale of what happens to you in a country where, when you are not the privileged. And as this MLA very infamously said, Suesha, ki ye nimna varg ke log hain. This is what he said, and I can't forget that, and our viewers should also not forget that. And the Chief Minister should not forget that this is a government that will be accountable. You will be held accountable to your promises, to your words. If you launch a slogan saying, Beti padhao, Beti bachao, ये इस तरह तो नहीं होगा. Because you look at this village today, why has this village looking at a spectacle like this? Irfan, let's keep our focus, on these images. That is very important here. At a point where the police itself, finds themselves cornered. They find themselves cornered. They find themselves cornered in a situation like this. So we can well imagine what will possibly happen. And, why do you have... see, every car that actually comes in here, that gets surrounded by these supporters. And all these are supporters of this BJP MLA. For the moment, he's a rape accused. If you have a victim who's actually named this MLA, if you have the father's dying testimony, we'll try to actually get closer to the car, but we are stuck on the other side. And we'll try to find out, ye kaun hai?
Congress Congress ki hai. Congress.
Okay, I've been told this is the Congress spokesperson. Now, if this is not politics, what is? You have a Congress spokesperson here. At a point where the victim is here, she is finding it difficult to even come to terms with the fact that something like this has happened with her. The entire administration has dragged its feet for a good 11 months until they got that reprimand from the court. The reason why we also saw them moving ahead with that FIR. But let's again move to a little safer distance so that we are able to give our viewers a better sense of these pictures, which have to be told. These are the pictures of the state of Uttar Pradesh. Viewers, where today you're looking at a rape accused who's fighting the entire system. And for a moment, even if we actually believe the fact that these are only allegations, but the truth is that the father of this girl died. Now, how did the father die? Does the police have any answers to that? They don't. And is there a relation between the complaint that this girl filed to the father dying? If you just connect the dots, any layman will tell you the answer is yes. So what is wrong with the Uttar Pradesh police? What is wrong with the Uttar Pradesh government? And is this, remember, the police only and only taking a cue from the Chief Minister? The Chief Minister does come forward, and Irfan, let's keep moving ahead here to the right. The Chief Minister earlier, remember, when he spoke, he actually told us that we've suspended a few police officials. Now, is that the end of the story? Does the Chief Minister then believe that once you suspend these police officials, it's the end of the story and the matter comes to rest? It's horrible. And this point, let's also show our viewers just the faces of these people who've actually been, trying to intimidate us with their own questions. Let's not get into this. Irfan, पीछे चलते हैं. Let's move. This is an unruly crowd and an unruly mob. All right, so viewers, just give us a little moment to be able to be safe. Excuse me, I don't want to speak to any one of you, please. Please let us report. Let us report. You can do what you want to do. Irfan, let's just move out from this because, and let's just keep looking at these images because they are important.
He's innocent. He's innocent.
बहुत side में चलो यार. Let's come here. Let's come here. And viewers, don't forget that even as we report, remember, even as we are moving ahead, and you see that how this entire crowd is actually heckling us, intimidating us, and trying to do things which should definitely not happen. You have the cops here who are smiling. They don't put one bit of effort to even control the crowds or to realize that we might be in a situation. आप लोगों को यहाँ खड़े होने के लिए ड्यूटी दिया है. ये क्राउड हम लोगों के साथ बदतमीजी करेगा तो आप लोग कुछ नहीं करेंगे.
क्यों? बिल्कुल क्यों नहीं करेंगे.
तो आपको आके बताना पड़ेगा कि आप देखेंगे आपकी ड्यूटी है ये उत्तर प्रदेश पुलिस ऐसे ही काम करती है. So this is real and this is real time. You know, me and my video journalist Irfan are having a difficult time because someone is actually playing with his instruments. Someone is putting a hand in my purse. All such kind of things are happening here in Uttar Pradesh, where you have the ADG right here. The ADG law and order is right here, and the Uttar Pradesh police and their cops, they do nothing. That is why we say we are live also, Irfan, we are also live. This is the reason why we say that this is nothing but a tamasha. This is a tamasha. This has only been done to intimidate the victim, to try to ensure that she doesn't say anything else anymore. Otherwise, why would something like this even happen? All right, if we are still live, because I'm not able to hear my studio at all here, but again, I'll quickly recap what we've been looking at in the last few hours, and let's also remember that this is the police. Remember, the police having a difficult time now to control this very crowd that they allowed to gather. This same crowd comes and misbehaves with me and my video journalist. The police does nothing until I actually come back and tell them that please come and help us. Is this how the Uttar Pradesh police will behave at a point where you have this entire tamasha, remember, being created? I don't understand why. Because, this is a matter which is extremely sensitive, should be dealt with sensitively. There are evidences, there are eyewitness accounts that the police will have to hear. By creating, a show of strength like this, do understand that these are really, poor people. This is a village. This is a village about 25 kilometers from the Unnao district in Uttar Pradesh. These people don't have the means. They have absolutely nothing, to be able to stand up to the might of this BJP MLA. But if this image, remember, is an indication, this actually tells you that this is something that is so wrong with the administration, the police, their own bandopast in the state of Uttar Pradesh. Because for the last, 40 minutes or so, we are looking at these crowds only building, being allowed to gather. You're looking at netas, and we just saw one from the Congress's camp who was even allowed to come here, speak to crowds as if this is some kind of a celebratory event, and people moving with placards. Why should all this be even allowed to happen? If it is a rape matter, just understand it's also about the dignity of this minor at the end of it today. And let's not forget that every code, every rule book, the constitution tell us that you need to preserve the dignity of the rape victim here. Is the police doing it? Because by coming and making this entire tamasha here, by clearly identifying that this is the house of that victim, what happens to her privacy? So many questions, remember, that actually go out. And, I as a journalist today, I'm so tempted to recall the entire coverage that we also did along with the editor-in-chief Arnab Goswami during the Nirbhaya protests in Delhi. And let me tell you, we saw how the Sheila Dikshit government fell because that was a government extremely insensitive. And you heard that comment then coming in famously from Sheila Dikshit, who said कि लड़कियों को रात के समय बाहर नहीं आना चाहिए. That was one comment. To now in 2018, where we stand in broad daylight, you have this entire bunch of supporters of this BJP MLA who come and heckle us, who come and misbehave with us. But what does the police do? The police is a mute spectator. And I shudder to think what possibly could have happened with this girl. She was, forced to come from Unnao to here. I don't understand why again. Because the police doesn't tell us that why did they think it's fit, it's proper, and it's in the interest of justice to let this girl come here at a situation like this. Can she be allowed to stay in a village like this where you have people, you have onlookers who stare at you, who stalk at you, and who perhaps today could be only here for the interest of this BJP MLA. And again, as I said, remember, Republic is not casting aspersions on anyone. We are in the interest of free justice, and we will ensure that we ask those questions. It's important to ask those questions, but because if there is any other accused, remember, no matter whichever political party, Republic has always asked those tough questions. That if this is, a criminal, or if this is a rapist, if this is a murderer from a, political party, why should we not question them? And now, after, remember, we've actually spoken to the Uttar Pradesh police. They've been seeing all this live tamasha going on. They're trying to disperse these crowds. And see what cleverly they're trying to do, because there is a little compound with a little gate there. They're trying to ensure that all of them get inside into that compound right now, so that for the television cameras, the situation looks under control. But let me tell you, this is a village which has tiny lanes. It is so very easy to intimidate you through those narrow by lanes, to come forward again and to create a ruckus. The images of which we saw here live on our screens. And we've reported from a number of, difficult terrains, also earlier, viewers. But you don't, fear being, I think, heckled or abused or touched wrongly, at least when you have a cop standing next to you. And here it was the ADG Law and Order. The reason why, Irfan, we should not give these people any kind of a limelight. It's very important. We should stay away from them, because all that they want is media cameras to show them their faces. We will not do that, because we are here for the girl. We are here only for the cause. We are not here for any particular political party, and we will not get into any politics of this. But where is the Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister today? Amit Shah, remember, is in Lucknow today. He's going to be speaking to the Chief Minister when it comes to this issue. I hope so, and also on the Dalit issue. But at a point where you're looking at such a pressing emergency, where you have a girl who's a minor, who's been actually fighting for her own rights against the entire system, for a good 11 months, is this how the government will stand up with her? And tomorrow, God forbid, if you have any other girl in a situation like this, will she muster up the courage? Will she stand up to the might of any MLA tomorrow? The answer is a clear no, because he's an MLA. And let me tell you a little bit more about this MLA now, and let's take our focus a little bit away from this scene right now, which the police is wanting to dress, to something more, because there are more of these supporters that you see standing there. And I'll try to keep walking to give you a better sense again of why we believe that this, remember, is an MLA who's only called a mafia. And he was earlier with the Samajwadi Party. He also moved with the BSP. It's only in 2017, viewers, that he came to be a part of the BJP. So I don't understand why should the BJP be finding it so very difficult to throw this man. To throw this man at least pending an inquiry. To not let him flex his muscles the way he's doing it here. He's not here. Remember this. The BJP MLA in question is not here. We don't know about his whereabouts. He's not picking our phone calls, but he lets his people actually converge here. And I think there are more top cops who will continue to come here. Let's see if we can speak to more people. No, he runs away. He runs away. I think he doesn't want to take any questions right now. But more and more cops continue to come in at a point where, remember, the SIT today by this evening is supposed to be putting out the preliminary report, which will tell us whether they even believe that this BJP MLA is guilty or not. And earlier, remember, when we spoke to the ADG, and Irfan, you can walk a little, but just be safe. When we spoke to the ADG a little earlier, the ADG tells us that I've spoken to the victim. मैंने ध्यान से उनकी सारी बातें सुनी है, उनके सारे accounts को मैंने समझा है. And when I asked him just that one very simple question, that does this victim also name the BJP MLA, he is even not comfortable to mention the name of that BJP MLA. Now, what really does that tell you? The police is supposed to be impartial. The police is supposed to be for the common people. But is this a police for the common people? I'll not say it. I'll let our viewers decide. Because what we've seen in the last few hours, remember, it actually makes your blood boil. Because forget everything, forget the politics. And Irfan, let's keep moving with more images also, because it's important for viewers to see everything that is going on right now in Uttar Pradesh. This is Yogi Adityanath's Uttar Pradesh, a state that the BJP massively won. Of late, remember, the BJP has lost 2 seats here in Gorakhpur and Phulpur. But people say that that is not important because this is a chief minister who means business. And I'm leaving you viewers right now with these images. These are images coming in from a very small village in Unnao in Uttar Pradesh. This is the real face of justice. Back on the other side with lots more. Stay with us.